This just crossed a line, and there's no going back. What started as rumors exploded into a career-destroying scandal, with Cardi B right at the center. But the craziest part, it didn't come from the media or a rival. It came from her own former manager, who just leaked 8 minutes of unreleased footage from 50 Cent's explosive documentary. Now the industry is panicking, accounts are vanishing, and one question is on everyone's mind. What exactly was Cardi involved in, and how deep does this really go? This just crossed a line, and there's no going back. What started as quiet rumors has now exploded into a full-blown career-killing scandal, and right at the center of the chaos, Cardi B. But here's what makes this absolutely insane. This bombshell didn't come from a rival. It didn't come from a blogger or the tabloids. It came from someone who used to be inside her circle. Her former manager just dropped a nuclear bomb. According to multiple sources, they didn't just speak out. They leaked 8 full minutes of unreleased footage from 50 Cent's explosive documentary. Footage that was never meant to see the light of day. The second it hit the internet, everything changed. Phones started blowing up, accounts started vanishing, and panic mode went into overdrive. Because these 8 minutes don't just hint at drama, they expose raw, behind-the-scenes conversations that have everyone asking one terrifying question. What exactly was Cardi B involved in? And why would someone who was once on her team risk everything to leak this? Was it revenge, a warning shot, or is something much bigger going on? Insiders are already claiming this wasn't a random leak. It was perfectly timed. And if that's true, this isn't just a scandal. This is a setup. Stay with me, because what's inside those 8 minutes might be the most shocking thing we've seen in the industry in years. But to understand why this feels so explosive, we have to go deeper. This didn't start with an 8-minute leak. This is years of built-up tension, broken trust, and dirty secrets finally boiling over. Cardi B built her entire empire on being raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic. Fans loved her for saying and doing whatever she wanted. But behind the flashy persona and big personality was a machine. Managers, advisors, and insiders pulling strings the public never saw. When you rise that fast, loyalty gets tested, and not everyone survives the climb. Over the years, there were quiet signs. Contracts changing, key people suddenly disappearing from her team, awkward shifts that were never fully explained. At the time, fans brushed it off. Now, those same moments are being looked at under a microscope. Because one of those former insiders, her ex-manager, just became the main character in this storm. This isn't some random ex-employee. This is someone who had real access, private conversations, behind closed doors decisions, and moments that were never supposed to go public. So the real question is, what do they know that made them willing to burn every bridge? Leaking unreleased footage from 50 Cent's documentary isn't just messy, it's dangerous. Legally, professionally, personally. And they did it anyway. Now add 50 Cent into the mix, a man whose documentary was already generating massive controversy before this leak even dropped. Sensitive material, private talks, uncomfortable truths. When you mix that with betrayal from Cardi's own inner circle, you get a perfect storm. Sources say the split between Cardi and this former manager wasn't clean. There were disagreements, broken trust, and bad blood that never got resolved. Whatever happened between them clearly didn't stay buried. And the timing, suspicious as hell. Why drop this right now, when 50 Cent's documentary is already under the spotlight and the industry is on edge? Was it to expose the truth, to protect themselves, or to send a very loud message? Some fans are convinced this leak wasn't even meant for us. They think it was a warning shot aimed at specific people. I know what's in that documentary, and now everyone else does too. Whatever the motive, one thing is clear: this story is getting darker by the hour. The more people watch those 8 minutes, the more questions they have. And right now, the entire industry is holding its breath. It all feels connected now, like scattered puzzle pieces that are finally starting to form a terrifying picture. And the deeper we dig, the more uncomfortable this whole situation gets. If those explosive 8 minutes are just a tiny fragment of 50 Cent's full documentary, then what the hell is still hidden in the rest of it? What other bombshells haven't surfaced yet? And most importantly, who else is tangled up in this web? Right now, it honestly feels like we're only scratching the surface. And my gut says whatever drops next is going to completely change the game. Everything spiraled into pure chaos the moment those 8 minutes hit the internet. This wasn't blurry rumors, shady screenshots, or cleverly edited clips. No, this was raw, unfiltered, devastating footage. A full 8-minute segment that hit like a sledgehammer. It didn't premiere on YouTube or Instagram with flashy graphics. Instead, it quietly appeared in a private Telegram channel. No watermark, no branding, just a simple file named Final Cut, Do Not Release. That title alone was enough to make thousands click instantly. But what they saw inside, that's what broke the internet. The footage opened with never-before-seen behind-the-scenes clips from 50 Cent's documentary, not the polished, carefully edited version the public was supposed to see. This was gritty, raw camera footage. Shifting angles, background noise, people talking freely when they thought the mics were off. Within the first 60 seconds, a very familiar name dropped: Cardi B. It wasn't mentioned casually. The tone was dead serious. A voice, still unidentified, said coldly, "She knows more than she lets on." That one sentence made viewers freeze. Suddenly, this wasn't just industry gossip anymore. It felt deeply personal. Then the scene cut abruptly to a dimly lit private meeting. At least 3 people sat around a table, faces partially blurred, voices lowered to whispers. One of them leaned in and dropped a line that sent chills down spines. "If this comes out, it's not just her, it's all of us." All of us? The chat exploded. Who is all of us? What exactly are they so afraid of exposing? Before anyone could process it, the footage jumped again, this time to what sounded like a secretly recorded phone call. The audio was distorted but clear enough to catch the damning parts. A voice believed to be connected to someone from Cardi's former team said, "He's putting everything in there. Names, deals, even the stuff from 2019. 2019. That year lit a fire under fans. People immediately started connecting dots to old controversies, lingering rumors, and moments that were never fully explained at the time. Suddenly, everything started lining up in a way that made stomachs turn. But the intensity kicked into another gear around the 4-minute mark. The clip showed 50 Cent himself, not in a formal interview, not facing the camera, just sitting quietly, listening. Someone off camera asked him nervously, "You sure you want to include that? That's going to start something you can't stop." 50 Cent's response was ice cold and calm. "It already started." That line hit different. It didn't feel accidental. It felt calculated, like he knew exactly what kind of storm he was about to unleash and was fully prepared for it. Then came the moment that pushed the entire leak over the edge. Near the end of the 8 minutes, there's a segment people are still fiercely debating. Some swear it's authentic. Others claim it's been cleverly edited. But if it's real, it flips the entire narrative. The footage allegedly captured a conversation involving the very same former manager now accused of leaking it. In that clip, the person says something no one expected. She wasn't supposed to be part of this, but she got pulled in. Wait, what? Up until that point, most people assumed Cardi was in control, calling shots, or at least fully aware. This line suggested something completely different, that maybe she wasn't the mastermind. Maybe she got dragged into something much larger and darker than she could handle. The internet immediately split into two camps. One side insists she knew everything. The other believes she was caught in the crossfire. That division alone made the scandal 10 times more explosive, because now it's not just about what happened. It's about who's actually telling the truth. But the chaos was only getting started. Within hours of the clip going mega viral, something suspicious happened. The original upload, gone. The entire Telegram channel, wiped clean. Multiple accounts sharing it suddenly got suspended. It looked like someone was desperately trying to scrub the footage from existence. Too late. Once something this juicy spreads, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Re-uploads popped up everywhere. Different versions, slowed down segments, audio enhancements. The detective work online went into overdrive. People were dissecting every word, every pause, every background voice, desperate for answers. Instead of clarity, they only found more disturbing questions. The biggest one on everyone's mind: why would her own former manager leak this? This isn't just career suicide, it's potentially legally destructive. Unless there's a much bigger reason. What if this wasn't simple revenge? What if it was a calculated move to expose everything before someone else could control the story? If that's true, then those 8 minutes aren't the peak of this saga. They're just the opening act. And trust me, based on what's already leaking, whatever comes next might be even darker. If you thought those first 8 minutes were the climax, you were dead wrong. Because what happened next didn't just escalate things, it completely redefined the scandal. Within hours, new fragments started circulating. Not the full clip this time, shorter, sharper segments, different angles, different dates. It almost felt like someone was strategically drip-feeding more fuel to the fire. That's when it became terrifyingly clear. Those original 8 minutes weren't the whole leak. They were only the beginning. A second wave hit even harder. One new clip opened with a visible timist. Amp from a different date and location. The tone had completely shifted, no more whispered conversations. This was raw confrontation, raised voices, tension you could feel through the screen. In that footage, a voice believed to be close to Cardi's circle delivered a line that instantly went viral. "You don't understand. Once this drops, nobody's safe, not even him." Him? The internet lost its mind. Who is him? Is it 50 Cent? Or is it someone even more powerful lurking in the shadows? The certainty in that voice wasn't fear, it was cold, confident warning, and that made it 10 times more unsettling. As more clips surfaced, sharp-eyed fans started spotting clear patterns, recurring names, repeated references to specific years, shady deals, secret meetings, and moments that seemed harmless back then, but now look like calculated moves in a much larger game. It started feeling less like random drama and more like a hidden timeline slowly being exposed. Then came the most shocking drop yet, a short but absolutely devastating third clip. No heavy distortion, no blurry faces, just a clear shot of a physical document lying on a table. Parts were still blurry, but enough text was readable to cause absolute pandemonium. According to people who paused and analyzed every frame, the document appeared to contain a list. Not just random names, but roles, connections, and next to certain entries, mysterious symbols and marks. It looked organized, deliberate, almost like a blueprint. And here's the part that made the entire timeline freeze. One of the names on that list was rumored to have direct ties to someone deep inside Cardi B's inner circle. Not confirmed, but more than enough for the internet to erupt. Now the puzzle feels bigger than just Cardi versus 50 Cent. It's starting to look like an entire network of relationships, power plays, and secrets that stretch back years. The question everyone is asking now is simple, yet terrifying. How deep does this really go? And how many more names are about to get dragged into the light? Because if the first 8 minutes caused this much panic, imagine what the full documentary will do when it finally drops. The industry isn't just watching anymore. It's holding its breath. And something tells me we haven't even seen the worst of it yet. If that document is real, then this stopped being about Cardi B a long time ago. This is now about her entire network and whatever dangerous web they might be connected to. Social media didn't just react, it erupted. Within minutes, threads exploded with frame-by-frame breakdowns. People were zooming in, enhancing audio, running side-by-side comparisons, and playing detective like their lives depended on it. Then, a new hashtag detonated across every platform. The list. That mysterious document became the main character. People weren't just curious anymore, they were demanding answers. And right in the middle of all this madness, a verified account tied to someone deep in the industry dropped a single post that made everything 10 times worse. Y'all focused on the wrong person. The real story hasn't even started yet. Wait, what? That one line flipped the script again. If this isn't the real story, then what the hell are we actually looking at? And more importantly, who are we still not seeing? But just when everyone thought they had a grip on it, a fourth clip surfaced. And this one hit differently. It allegedly showed a private conversation involving someone very close to 50 Cent. Not a rival, not an outsider, but someone from his own inner circle. The voice said something that made the entire internet go dead silent. He didn't make this alone, and he's not the one in control. The silence after that line was deafening. Because up until that moment, everyone assumed 50 Cent was the mastermind, the one calling the shots, building the documentary, and deciding who gets exposed. This clip suggested something far more terrifying, that maybe 50 Cent isn't running anything. Maybe he's just another player in a much bigger game he can't fully control. And that possibility has the entire industry nervous. If that's true, then we're not dealing with simple celebrity beef or a leaked documentary anymore. There are unseen forces operating behind the scenes, powerful people we haven't even heard from yet, quietly pulling strings. Now everyone is questioning everything, every clip, every voice, every silence. Nothing feels random, nothing feels safe. And just when the tension couldn't get any thicker, the alleged former manager, the one accused of starting this whole leak, went completely ghost. No posts, no statements, no denials, just radio silence. That silence, it's speaking louder than any interview ever could. In situations like this, silence doesn't mean, "I have nothing to say." It usually means something massive is happening behind closed doors, something we're not supposed to see. If those clips are real and that list is real, then this is no longer just a leak. This is full-scale exposure on a level the industry has never seen before. And trust me, what's coming next might be even more devastating. At this point, the internet wasn't reacting anymore, it was detonating. The moment those new clips and the list started spreading, the whole vibe shifted. This stopped feeling like gossip or petty celebrity drama. It started feeling dangerous. People responded the only way they know how, when fear mixes with curiosity. They lost control. Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, every platform turned into a battlefield. Hashtags started trending worldwide at lightning speed. Cardi B exposed. 50 Cent documentary. The list leak. And the darkest one of all, who is next? That hashtag sent chills through the timeline, because fans weren't just watching the chaos unfold anymore. They were waiting, anticipating, almost expecting the next name to drop, the next clip to leak, and the next career to collapse in real time. The theories got wild fast. One viral tweet with over 3 million views said, This ain't no documentary. This is a whole operation, and we're only seeing pieces. Another user wrote, "The way people are going silent right now, that tells you everything." And they weren't wrong. While fans were screaming online, the artists went the opposite direction. They went dead quiet. Posts disappeared. Appearances got canceled. Social media accounts went dark. That kind of silence is loud. When people who are usually loud and active suddenly vanish, it doesn't feel random. It feels calculated. And right in the middle of all this chaos, Cardi B herself went completely silent. No tweets, no Instagram stories, no signature clapbacks, nothing. For a woman known for speaking her mind and never backing down from a fight, the silence was deafening. People immediately started asking, why isn't she saying anything? Is someone telling her to stay quiet, or is she waiting for the perfect moment to respond? Because silence in a moment like this can mean many things, but it almost never means everything is okay. Meanwhile, 50 Cent did the same thing. After days of cryptic captions and subtle hints, he too went ghost. No new posts, no reactions. When both of them go silent at the exact same time, it stops feeling like coincidence. It starts feeling coordinated, or worse, controlled. But the celebrities didn't stay completely quiet. Some started reacting without actually reacting. Those classic indirect posts and cryptic messages that say everything and nothing at once. One artist posted, "Some truths ain't meant for the public." Another wrote, "When the smoke clears, watch who's still standing," then deleted it minutes later. Too late. Screenshots were already everywhere. Fans dissected every word, trying to figure out who was scared, who knew too much, and who was about to get exposed next. Then the mainstream media jumped in, and the headlines got aggressive. Explosive leaked ties, major artist to secret network. Industry in panic mode after shocking documentary footage surfaces. Cardi B linked to viral clip, questions remain. Here's the problem though, even the media didn't have real answers. For every report there were 10 contradictions, different sources, different interpretations, different narratives. That confusion only made things worse. When people don't get clear answers, they create their own, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Fan theories are turning into facts, speculation is hardening into belief, and belief is creating dangerous division. The audience is now split down the middle. One side is fiercely defending Cardi B, saying she's being dragged into something she didn't start, that she's being set up and used as the perfect distraction. The other side isn't buying it. They're convinced she knew exactly what was going on. She just never thought any of it would actually see the light of day. And in the middle of all this noise, one question keeps getting louder. When the next clip drops, whose name is going to be on it? Because if the list is real, this story is only just beginning. And that divide, it's getting uglier by the hour. Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to back down. And right now, nobody actually knows the full truth. But here's the most unsettling part. While everyone's screaming online, a new report started spreading quietly at first, then louder and louder. According to multiple sources, more leaks are coming. Not blurry rumors, not speculation. Actual footage, longer, clearer, more revealing, and potentially way more damaging than anything we've seen so far. The names involved, bigger than most people are ready for. Imagine the tension right now. People are refreshing their feeds every few seconds, hearts racing, waiting for the next bomb to drop. Because at this point, it's not about if something else leaks. It's about when. That mix of fear, anticipation, and pure curiosity is building like crazy. If the first few clips already caused this much chaos, what's going to happen when the next one hits? What happens when the evidence becomes impossible to deny? Right now, we're still in that gray area, guessing, arguing, theorizing. but something tells me that gray area is about to disappear. And when it does, there's no going back. Just when it felt like the internet couldn't handle another shock, it happened. No warning, no countdown, just a sudden drop. A brand new video file appeared, longer, clearer, and far more dangerous than anything before it. The title alone stopped people mid-scroll. Uncut segment, do not release under any circumstances. Within seconds, it was everywhere. People clicked without thinking twice. Everyone knew something massive was coming, but nobody was ready for this. The video opens with 50 Cent sitting directly in front of the camera. No fancy lighting, no dramatic music, just him, serious, focused, and carrying an energy we've never seen from him before. Then he looks straight into the lens and says, "This wasn't supposed to come out like this, but since it did, let's stop pretending." That single line sent chills across the entire internet. Because suddenly, this didn't feel like a random leak anymore. It felt like confirmation. The footage then shifts. These aren't scattered fragments like before. This is structured, connected, almost like someone is deliberately laying out the final pieces of a massive puzzle. At the center of it all, a detailed timeline, years, dates, specific names, moments that once seemed unrelated, now they all suddenly make perfect, terrifying sense. And then came the final twist that broke the timeline. In that timeline, there's a section labeled Initial Entry Point. Next to it is a blurred image with a partially visible name. Thousands of people paused, zoomed in, and enhanced the frame. What they saw sent the internet into absolute chaos. That name appears to link directly to someone from Cardi B's past management circle. Not just any random person, but someone who was there during one of the most critical moments in her career. If this timeline is real, then this situation didn't start with the documentary or the 8-minute leak. This goes back years. Suddenly, that original 8-minute leak doesn't look random at all. It looks like a trigger. But a trigger for what? As the video continues, another shocking moment hits. A private conversation between two voices, one allegedly tied to that same former manager, the other voice, still unknown. What they said next made everyone freeze. You think this ends with her? This goes way higher than that. Higher? The panic levels skyrocketed. Higher than Cardi, higher than 50 Cent. Are we talking other major artists, powerful executives, entire networks? Just when viewers thought they couldn't take any more, the final seconds delivered the knockout punch. A plain text message appears on screen, simple, direct, and absolutely chilling. Part 4 contains everything. Part 4. Now the entire internet is asking the same question. There's more. If what we've already seen has caused this level of destruction, what the hell could possibly be waiting in Part 4? Names, hard proof, things that can't be explained away or denied. Right after this new video started spreading like wildfire, both Cardi B and 50 Cent went completely silent again. No statements, no clapbacks, no cryptic posts, nothing. And that silence feels intentional. It no longer feels like random chaos. It feels like a controlled explosion, everything being released piece by piece, at exactly the right moment for a reason. But whose reason? That's the real question now. Is someone orchestrating all of this? Is someone deciding exactly what we see and when we see it? Because if that's the case, we're not just watching a story unfold. We're being shown it step by step, leak by leak, until the full picture is out in the open. And when that final piece drops, there's no coming back. Reputations will be destroyed. Careers could end overnight. Entire legacies might collapse in real time. Until then, we're all stuck here, refreshing, waiting, watching. One thing is crystal clear. This story is nowhere near over. In fact, it feels like we're standing right on the edge of the biggest reveal yet. Now I need you to be honest with me. After everything you've heard and seen so far, what do you actually believe? Do you think Cardi B got pulled into something much bigger than her? Or do you think she knew exactly what was going on the whole time? What about 50 Cent? Is he really exposing the truth, or is he controlling the narrative before something even worse comes out? And that former manager, why would they risk everything to leak those original 8 minutes? Was it pure revenge? Was it fear? Or were they trying to warn everyone before it was too late? Drop your theory in the comments right now. Don't hold back. Some of the theories flying around are wild, and a few of them are starting to sound a little too real. Also, if you spotted any small detail in those clips that nobody's talking about yet, drop it below. Sometimes the tiniest thing becomes the biggest clue. If you want me to keep digging deep into this story, smash that like button. Subscribe and turn on notifications right now, because the second part 4 surfaces. We're breaking it down frame by frame, no details missed, no holding back. This story is moving fast, and you do not want to miss what's coming next. Because if even half of what's being hinted at is true, then what drops next might be the most shocking reveal we've ever seen in the industry. Stay ready, stay watching. I'll see you in the next one, where this whole thing might finally explode for good.